Hello everyone and welcome. My name is Akir and today we're going to talk about the string class. Unlike other primitive variables such as int, double, and char, string is actually a class variable, meaning that within it you get all sorts of helpful methods that will help you manipulate strings. For example, if we declare a simple string variable and write a word in it, so we can get now the length of the string simply by typing the name of the string variable dot length parentheses and semicolon. So by writing that this way, we're taking the string that we defined, that we declared, and we operate the length method on it, and by that it will return us the length of that string. So basically this length method will return us an integer. So in that case it will return 5. We could do a lot more things like cutting the string, for example, with substring. Now there are two kinds of substring methods. If you write it this way, substring, and you mention a location, it will cut the string from that location. So we can see we can save it in a new variable and then print it on the screen. Or if you use the other kind of the substring method, we could mention the start and the end of the substring we want. So for example, if you want from index 1 to index 3, for example, this is the strings that we will get. Notice that in Java, many things are counted from 0. For example, strings in that example are counted from, the index is counted from 0, and so on. And also it's true for arrays, as we will learn about next. So the first letter in that case is actually in index 0. This is our H. Meaning that our last letter will be at index the string variable dot length -1. Because if we just write the length, we'll get 5. But since we begin our count from 0, then it will go up to 4. So that's why we write length -1, and that will give us our last letter. Now we don't have to use variables to save or to print whatever we changed in the strings. We can just print them out directly to the screen. We also have a cool command called concat, and that allows you to connect two strings together, just like this. We can check if two strings are equal. And this is actually, so if we said that it contains the string class as methods in it, so every method also returns you a different kind of data type. So in this case, the equals method will return you true or false. If the strings are equal, it will return true, otherwise false. We can check which is larger lexicography with int compared to. This is the method, it returns you an integer. So it will return a positive number if the string that was operated with this method is larger than the one given as a parameter inside the parentheses. Also, something that is very useful when manipulating strings is the char@, command, char@ method. You can get the letter at a given location with char@. So if you say, for example, the name of the string dot char@0, it will give you the first letter in the location of 0. If you want, we can also just add letters to the string or words, just like that. It's very simple. Like you add to the sum of a number. And you have plenty more methods like this to help you manipulate strings. You can read more about it about the string class methods at the tutorial point website, which I'll include to this lesson's text material. Now, it's good to know that we're not always natural in programming. Therefore comes the string class to make it easier for us in Java. String is basically, as the computer sees it, a collection of char variables, meaning letters, linked to each other in memory. So in C, for example, you can get a very good idea of it, and you can see how it actually connects to each other and how the computer is reading words, which is basically just reading one letter at a time. But luckily in Java we don't have to deal with it, and it's all done for us. So we can simply declare strings and use the class methods to help us with the manipulation of strings. Now let's do a little practice. This might be challenging for this time, since you have only been introduced to the string class a couple of minutes ago, so it can be tough. But I believe that performing this task, or trying to perform this task, will give you a better understanding of how to manipulate strings. So we are going to reverse a string. We will do it together, but if you want to try it yourself and think with all that we have learned so far, how to achieve this, this might take some time, but if you want, feel free to try. Then pause this video right now. Or if you'll wait a few seconds, I will give some clues that might help you with performing this task. Okay, so the clues are, you can use char at, length, another string variable, and a loop to get it done. Pause now if you want to try it yourself. Okay, so if you found it difficult, it's perfectly fine and perfectly normal for this stage in our course. But at least it's important that you have tried. Now we're going to do it ourselves. Okay, so this is how you can do this. Declare a second string variable that in there we will keep our reverse string. And I choose to use the for loop for comfort's sake. Now, as you remember, in for loops, we have the declaration, the condition, and the incrementation. 3 parts that contains our for loop declaration. So, the declaration, initiate and declare an iterator to start at the end of the string at -1, at length -1. If you remember, the string's length is 5, but we want but we start counting at 0, therefore it goes all the way to 4. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so it starts the counting with 0, therefore it's from 0 to 4. And the length of the string, the total length, is 5. So when we say, when we mention our string's name dot length, it will be actually 5, but we wanted to start at 4, the last letter. Now, the condition. As long as the iterator is larger than -1, meaning that if it reaches to 0, it's still okay, because 0 is our first letter, but if it will go, and then it will decrease again, and then when it decreases, it will be -1. Then we don't want to do anything. In -1, we want our loop to break. So this is what we wrote here. Now the incrementer. This will be -1 to decrease the iterator by 1 every time we run the loop, every time we performing the actions. until eventually it will get to -1. The iterator will get to -1, therefore the loop will break. So for the actions, we simply copy whatever is at char at location of the iterator. So the first one we copy, if you think about it, is the last letter. We copy it to the beginning of a new string, to a temp string. And then, so if we begin with char at location 4, then the next one will be 3, and the next one will be 2, and the next one will be 1, and the next one will be 0. Okay? So every time it goes like that, we just copy one letter at a time to our temp string variable. And then when the loop ends, we simply print out the temp string to the screen. Let's see if it's working. Great, now we're just gonna print it in a more user-friendly way. We'll print both of them, the original and the result string. Excellent. In the next lesson, we are going to learn about arrays, so stay tuned, and I would like to thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.